everyone, Professor Sweeney here. I wanted to give you a brief tutorial on how to insert a footnote because footnotes are easy. So as you see, we're in Microsoft Word 2016. We're in the Home tab. You want to insert a footnote. You go to the References tab, click on it. You put your cursor at the end of the sentence, outside of the quotation mark. You click this button right here, Insert Footnote, and as you can see, a 1 appears at the bottom of the page, which corresponds to the one right here. I want to put another footnote in. Okay, once again, the cursor is at the end of the sentence. Click on Insert Footnote, and if you notice, a 2 appears at the bottom of the page, which corresponds to the 2 up in the text. So if you notice, footnotes are sequential, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Now, when do you cite your sources? Well, as the syllabus states, in order to avoid plagiarism, it's always better to cite more rather than less. You're certainly not going to get called out for plagiarism if you cite more, but if you don't cite enough, that might be an issue with some professors. So whether you're paraphrasing or using an exact quote, you use a footnote. So if you notice this sentence right here, some sought a grasp of power. For example, Senator Albert Beveridge claimed that the Philippines would be the key to controlling the Pacific, and with the Pacific in control, the whole world would be in the grasp of the United States. That is this student putting in their own words, paraphrasing what Albert Beveridge said. You would cite that. So, once again, you see the cursors at the bottom, at the end of the sentence. Click on the Insert Footnote, and now you see a number 3 pop up at the bottom. Similarly, this is a student using the actual words of Albert Beveridge. As a 21st century American, it is a bit unsettling to learn that government officials, such as Senator Albert Beveridge, actually envisioned the U.S. becoming, exact quote right here, the power that rules the Pacific and therefore the power that rules the world. That would also be cited. So, cursor at the very end of the sentence, right after the quotation mark, insert footnote, and there you have it. And so, granted, for example purposes 1 and 2, that's just me. There's no book or journal article to cite. But if I wanted to put in a footnote for number 3, oh, there he is, Mr. Albert Beveridge. And another issue to bring up is this is getting into more technicalities, more complicated explanations of footnotes and such. But I want to just let you know, so down the road, if you're taking different classes and professors are asking you to do footnotes in the most proper way possible, you see this is Albert Beveridge, yes, right there. This is also Albert Beveridge. So what you would put in is something called, and I'll show you right here. Now this is the full word. It's Latin.
Ibidem.
Ibidem. The abbreviation is
Ibid.
Ibid. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to show you my thesis. Here's a citation right here. Here's the full citation. And so, if you notice this, in the same source, used to save space in textual references to a quoted work which has been mentioned in a previous reference. So there's Lincoln Garrity, and then the very next footnote I have is Ibid. What that means is in the same place. coming from Lincoln Garrity, the page number changed from 8 to 6, and so on. Footnote 18, 19, and 20. Ibid. It's all saying it's coming from the same place, Lincoln Garrity, but on different page numbers. And then when you break the chain, you switch to a new source, then you have to put the full footnote citation, and then if you notice, 22 and 23, I'm saying Ibid. It's coming from Henry Jenkins on pages 5 and 7. Ibid. Coming from Henry Jenkins, textual posters from page 6. So if we come back to our Microsoft Word document down here, what I would say, notice if you hover over it, now you have the actual citation. This is Albert Beveridge. So is this. So, and it comes from the exact same page number. So I would put Ibid. But I wouldn't put it in capital locks. I-B-I-D. Now, if for instance it was on a different page number than 121, then all you would need to do is write Ibid, comma, space, and say it came from the next page. Another quote from Albert Beveridge. And put the page number in. So, Ibid by itself would be saying in the same place as the previous footnote, Albert Beveridge on page 121. If I put in a page number, a different page number, that would be saying in the same place, Albert Beveridge said this quote, but it's on a different page number, 122. I want to show you one more thing that does not apply to our class, but you will most likely need it in the future. I already made the footnotes for you. You just have to change the author and the title and the page number. However, some professors won't do that for you. So in Microsoft Word 2016, if you want to make a footnote or endnote citation or bibliography entry from scratch, the menu right next to it. Basically, I think this is absolutely wonderful because in Microsoft version 2003 did not have this. You had to know how to make footnotes and bibliography entries by yourself. This has a nice feature to it. So you have a drop-down menu here, if you would like to open. It gives you many different types of citation methods. Now history uses Chicago, so that's why I have it on Chicago. And it says Insert Citation button. And then it drops a menu down and it asks you what you want to do. So say you want to add a new source. You're making citations from scratch. Click on it. And a window pops up where you put in the information, the author, type that in, type in the title of the book, type in the year of the book was published, the city that the book was published by the publisher, and also you have different options. You can choose a citation for a book or a book section, journal article, article in a periodical, scrolling all the way down, conference proceedings, reports, websites, document from a website, so on and so forth. So I think this is a very, very helpful tool for you to know it exists, even though you don't need to use it for this class, for future classes. So I thank you very much for listening to this brief tutorial, and I hope that helped you understand a little more about footnotes and how to insert them and when to use them. Thanks so much and have a wonderful day.